Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Before we get into today's show, please do me a small favour. We are just about to hit 41,400 subscribers. So if you are watching for the first time today, bottom right-hand corner, get involved. Every single day I'm live bringing you all of the news around Manchester United. Crazy show today, guys. We've got Bryan and Mbeumo to discuss. We have also got Hojlund into Milan, apparently circling for him. We've got news on Gyökeres, news on Garnacho, lots and lots to get into. But the question for this morning's show, I always try and make my shows interactive. I would like to know your thoughts on Bryan and Mbeumo in the comment section below. Are you happy with Manchester United potentially close to agreeing a deal for Bryan and Mbeumo? Let me know. Is he the man you would have gone for? We're going to start the show off by talking about that. If you are watching the video live, there is a poll that you can get involved in right now. And the question is this: are you happy with Mbeumo? Simple question. Yes or no answer. If you're watching this video back on repeat, obviously you can't get involved in the poll. The poll is only for the live shows. So you'll have to get in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on Bryan and Mbeumo. So before we bring you the news, I want to give a little bit of an overview of Bryan and Mbeumo, where he can play, his stats, etc. So Bryan and Mbeumo predominantly plays as either a winger, a centre forward, a striker, or a central attacking midfielder. Now, we're led to believe that he would operate in one of the three central attacking midfield positions in Ruben Amorim's system. So probably on the right. Obviously, we've got Matheus Cunha to play in one of them as well. And sorry, there's two central attacking midfielders, isn't there? It's 3-4-2-1. Yeah, so you've got Bryan and Mbeumo in one of them and Matheus Cunha in the other. So two new players in those two new positions. We're led to believe that Ahmad's going to play as a right wing back, which I think makes sense. He's best position so far has been in that right wing back position. Obviously, we've got Dorgu at left wing back. We still need to fill a gap in the midfield to go alongside Manuel Ugarte, with Bruno probably going to leave. We'll talk about Bruno in a bit. But in relation to Bryan and Mbeumo, let's have a little look at his stats. So this season, he got 20 goals and 8 assists in the Premier League. I mean, that is absolutely phenomenal. 28 goals and assists in the Premier League this season. That is, I mean, I'd even say stats-wise, that's verging on world class. Last season, I think he was injured. He only played 25 times, but he still got 16 goals and assists last season. So that's like a goal or an assist more than every other game last season. This season, where he nearly got a goal or an assist every single game playing for Brentford. So he's a phenomenal player, very, very talented. Still only 25 as well, which I think some people seem to forget. He's still considered young, if you think about it. 25 years old is extremely young, I think. I don't know how old you guys are, but what were you doing when you were 25? And in relation to professional footballers, most of them go on until 35 roughly. I think most players are in their prime like at 28, 29, around that kind of age. So he isn't actually even in his prime yet. I think this is a phenomenal signing. He's Premier League proven. And so far, if our two signings so far are Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha, I'd be very happy. Two Premier League proven players. We're struggling to score goals. We're struggling to create chances. These two players will definitely enable us. Now, let's bring you guys the news on where this has all come from. So this came a little bit out of nowhere late last night. You have David Ornstein, you've got Fabrizio Romano, you've got all of the top journalists in world football reporting this same story. And we're going to start with David Ornstein's because he was the first one to break it. So shout outs to David Ornstein. David Ornstein said, let me just get it up. David Ornstein has said, where is he? He says this: Bryan and Mbeumo has officially decided he wants to join Manchester United and now expect to open formal talks with Brentford to sign him. Wow. And that just came out of nowhere. That apparently Mbeumo has decided Manchester United. Remember, Arsenal were interested, Tottenham were interested, Newcastle were interested. 3 teams with Champions League football all wanted to sign him, and he's chosen Manchester United. Now, apparently he's a boyhood Manchester United fan. Let's be honest, right? Manchester United is on a whole nother level to those 3 teams. No disrespect, but Tottenham, Newcastle and Arsenal, we're on a whole different planet. Yes, we're not in the Champions League. Yes, we had a poor last season, but we're still on a whole nother planet, even without Champions League football. And if he's a boyhood Manchester United fan, you can see why he would want to come. And I think a lot of rival fans are always like, why are these players joining? And they all say it's because it's for money. And I don't entirely agree, because I think realistically, whichever of those clubs he went to, he would get about the same amount of money, probably around 100 to 150k a week. He's currently only on 45 a week at Brentford. He's going to double, if not triple, his wages, whichever of those options he picks. But there is this kind of mystery around Manchester United, I feel. And I've read a few players talk about this, where they choose Manchester United because they want to be part of the team that brings Manchester United back. Imagine if Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha come to Manchester United and we start challenging. Whereas if they go to Tottenham, realistically, what's going to happen? If they go to Newcastle, what's going to happen? Like, nothing really. It's insignificant. Do you know what I mean? Like, the potential is huge at Manchester United. We have the biggest fan base in the world alongside Real Madrid. We're soon going to have the biggest stadium in the world. We've got, although we're in a mess financially, we generate, I think, the second most income in the world after Real Madrid. You know, we are a massive club, whether we feel like we are on the pitch or not. We are a massive football club. And the potential of, from a footballing side, a player joining Manchester United and bringing them back from where they are now to where we want to be, I think is huge. So I'm absolutely buzzing about this deal. I did not expect this deal to happen. I know we've been linked to him heavily. I know most people have said, oh, he's going to choose Arsenal, he's going to choose Newcastle, oh, he wants Champions League football. Like, it's not going to happen. We don't have the money. But it looks like we do, and it looks like this will happen. Now, in relation to the transfer fee, apparently Brentford are asking for 50 million, which I don't think is unreasonable, to be fair. For a player who got 20 goals and 7 assists in the league last season, 8 assists, 20 goals and 8 assists in the league last season, I don't think 50 million is unreasonable. You know, we paid, 70 million for Hojlund, who'd scored 9 goals in his whole career. So I don't think 50 million is unreasonable. If that could maybe come down to it had a 4 in it, I think it would be a phenomenal deal, like 40, 45 million. He does only have 1 year left on his contract. But if someone said to me, your first 2 signings of the summer would be Matheus Cunha for 62 million at the age of 25 and Bryan Mbeumo at the age of 25 for 50 million, I would say, you know what? I think those are 2 good deals. 2 Premier League proven players who are going to guarantee you goals and assists, are going to guarantee creativity in that team. And let's be real, they're going to guarantee us a better finish next season. And I know people are going to say, well, it's not exactly hard to finish better. We finished, was it 15th? Let me check. It was either 15th or 16th. But realistically, adding these 2 players to our attack is 100% going to take us up a level. We can all agree on that, right? You're going from Garnacho, who doesn't pass the ball and shoots every time he gets the ball, to a player in Matheus Cunha who's constantly looking to create, a player in Bryan Mbeumo who's absolutely clinical and got 20 goals this season. It will definitely take us up a level. By how many points? I don't know. I personally think with these 2 signings, we should definitely be aiming for European football of some sort next season. And I know, again, that's embarrassing. You know, that could be 7th. But I think with these 2 big name signings, there's still a lot of work to do. Don't get me wrong. You know, we're not going to win the league, I don't think, with Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha, but it is a step in the right direction. I think if we can take it 1 step forward, and we can then get ourselves a goalkeeper, if we can get a midfielder, and we can get a striker, I think anything's possible. You know, if tomorrow we wake up and Gyökeres is joining Manchester United, and we've gone and signed, say, is it Milinkovic-Savic, the goalkeeper? Someone like that. There's even a story this morning saying that apparently Manchester United are in talks with Barcelona in a swap deal involving... someone says, what's the red line? Oh, is there... Let me say that off. A swap deal involving Ter Stegen and Rashford. I mean, I don't believe that for a minute, but we'll see. Right, let's have a little look at the poll. So 97% of people watching the video today would like Mbeumo. That's crazy. 97%. That's amazing. It's so nice when the fan base is in unison and agree. So yeah, that's really, really nice. Everyone who's just joined the video, please do me a favor. Make sure to drop a like. We've got over 100, sorry, we've got over 400 people watching live right now, and we've only got 70 likes on the video. So please go and do that. And I've just dropped a link into the chat to subscribe as well. We are literally one subscriber away from 41,400. So please go and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm live every single day. Let's get to that next target. So yeah, that's the latest on Mbeumo. Lots of other journalists have come out with stories as well, reporting this same news. David Ornstein says Arsenal, Tottenham and Newcastle all went Mbeumo, but he prefers to join Manchester United. Fabrizio says negotiations between Brentford and Manchester United are due soon for Mbeumo. Ben Jacobs says a formal bid for Bryan Mbeumo is expected to follow soon, with Brentford seeking around 50 million. Mbeumo is sold on the United project after talks in May. And then the final one here says that Bryan Mbeumo has supported Manchester United since a child, which is partially why he wants to join them. There you go. So lots and lots of positive stories coming out of there. And then there's a story this morning in the Telegraph saying that Brentford are frustrated with how the potential deal for Mbeumo is being handled publicly. One source indicated it would be embarrassing for United if a fee isn't agreed upon after recent reports. Brentford has made no contact with United and hasn't quoted a transfer fee for Mbeumo to any potential suitors. I mean, in all fairness, right, Bryan Mbeumo has kind of thrown them under the bus a little bit because their bargaining power has definitely dropped. Realistically, the bargaining power of Brentford is now less because it's public knowledge that he wants to join Manchester United. I still think they'll get 40, 50 million for him, don't get me wrong, but it's made it a little bit easier for Manchester United, I think, personally. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I think it's a little bit easier. So, yeah, overall, I'm really, really happy with this potential deal. I think if we can get this deal done, if we can get this deal done early, I'd be very, very happy. I feel like it's probably going to drag out a little bit, just because there isn't a release clause. We'll have to negotiate, but realistically, the bidding is going to start at 50 million. If we can get him for anything under 50 million, I'd be happy. And all we need to do now is go and get Gyökeres. I mean, if our front three is Gyökeres, Mbeumo, and Matheus Cunha, imagine that, guys. Going from last season, Garnacho, Mason Mount and Hojlund to Gyökeres, Mbeumo and Cunha. That excites me a lot. I don't know how you feel about that. How excited does those words make you feel if our front three was those three players, Gyökeres, Mbeumo and Cunha? We have been absolutely starved of exciting football over the last couple of years. We have. Our attacking options are not good enough. Our attacking players are overpaid and don't perform. You know, the Antonys, the Rashfords, the Sanchos. I mean, even Garnacho to some extent, I would say. If we could get those three players through the door, I would be so happy. So I think there is still a massive chance that we get Gyökeres as well. Obviously, if Bruno Fernandes goes to Saudi, which we're still expecting he probably will at this point, I think Gyökeres is an option, you know? And if Gyökeres looks at this and says, they've just gone and signed Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo, they've beaten Arsenal, they've beaten Tottenham, they've beaten Newcastle, they've beaten all these other Champions League sides, he's going to look at that and think, you know what, maybe this is an interesting option to go to. It's a manager he's played with before. It's a manager that gave him his chance going from the Championship to the Portuguese League. So, yeah, I'm excited. I think the transfer window is always excited as a Manchester United fan because we always do interesting deals. And, yeah, I'm buzzing. How do you guys all feel about this? How do you all feel? Let me know in the comment section. I'm personally very, very happy, as you can probably tell. But I'd be interested to see what you guys all think as well about this story. Like, is this the player you want? Yeah, let me know in the comment section how you're all feeling this morning. I'm buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. Sorry for not doing the video last night, by the way. I had a really, really busy day yesterday. And yeah, I just simply did not have the time when I didn't have the time once I finished doing what I was doing to do a video. Right, let's see what else people are saying in the chat this morning. All right, let's talk a little bit about Hojlund then. So, keeping on the topic of outfield attacking players, the story this morning is that apparently Inter Milan have opened talks with Manchester United over a deal to sign Rasmus Hojlund. I think Hojlund's time at Manchester United is done, to be honest. I don't see a future for Hojlund here anymore. I was excited when he came in. And yeah, I was excited when he came in. I thought he had big potential. But in reality, it just hasn't worked out. He's a Manchester United fan, which is obviously, that's great. But, you know, we can't just let people play for Manchester United just because they're a Manchester United fan, you know? As much as I would like that to be the situation, and you say, oh yeah, let's just let anybody come and play for Manchester United because they're a Man United fan. It's just like, no, it's not how it works, unfortunately. So I feel a little bit bad for him. I think he's probably going to go down as one of the worst Manchester United strikers of all time. Would you agree? And that's not me being dramatic. I mean, Weghorst was better than Hojlund, I think. Yeah. It's a little bit disappointing though, isn't it? I really did want Hojlund to work out. When he came in, we were all excited, and there's been a couple of glimmers of positivity, but generally, I just think, I don't know. How do you guys feel about Hojlund? Do you think he'd be worth keeping? Is there any world in which Rasmus Hojlund has a chance to revive his Manchester United career? Let me know in the comments. I personally think there isn't. I think it's long gone, to be honest. I think, yeah, I don't think there's any hope of Hojlund reviving his career at Manchester United. And I think if Inter Milan are willing to take him, we need to bite their hand off, to be honest. Yeah, but let me know. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you see something in Hojlund that I don't. Let's have a look what people are saying in the chat. Somebody in the chat saying, is Gyökeres a Manchester United fan? I don't think so. Not that I know of. I might be wrong though. If anybody else knows, let me know. I don't think he's a Manchester United fan, but I may be wrong. Not that I'm aware of. Oh, I've got a bit of an itchy nose. Right, let's see what else we have for the show this morning. Let's have a look what people are saying in the chat. We've got over 400 people in the room now, guys, but only 100 likes. What are we doing? Everybody give the video a like. It doesn't cost you any money, and it really helps me out. So please go and like the video. And we still haven't hit 41.4 yet. What is going on? Somebody subscribe. Come on. There's the link in the chat. Let's see what else people are saying. Let me have a sip of my tea as well. I always let my tea go cold. I just want to say this as well. I can see some people in the chat calling Hojlund a flop. I think my final little bit on Hojlund is, I feel like Manchester United have just as much blame here as Hojlund does. I feel like, in all honesty, we failed Rasmus Hojlund. Like, he should have never been the main striker for Manchester United at the age of, what was he, like 19 when he joined? So it's easy for us to say, oh, he's a flop, he's not good enough. And I actually think that Manchester United have to take a lot of responsibility here. I don't know how you guys feel. I feel like there was a player in Hojlund. I feel like if he'd have gone to a Man City or somebody like that, he would have definitely developed and he would become the player that we all expected him to be. So, you know, it's easy for us to sit here and say, oh, Hojlund's a flop, this, that, and the other. I think that's a little bit unfair. I think, if anything, the real losers here are Manchester United. We paid £70 million for a player who had heaps of potential. And as always, we couldn't unlock that potential. So that is on Manchester United. That is on the board. It's on Erik ten Hag. It's on the Glazers. It's on all of these people, okay? So, yeah. I just personally think that we have failed Rasmus Hojlund. And I don't really appreciate this whole thing of blaming the players all the time. I think in some situations, when you've got a player who's been here for like 10 years and is stealing a living, like Luke Shaw, blame him 100%. You know, again, I say blame him 100%. He was injured for God knows how many years, and then the Glazers decided to give him a new contract. So again, is he 100% to blame? What was he going to say? He was going to turn around and say, you know what? I don't want the money. I'm going to leave. Like, who's going to do that? So as easy as it is for us to say, oh, this player's to blame. Oh, he's stealing a living. Oh, this, that, and the other. All fingers point back to the Glazers and to Ed Woodward formerly, John Murtaugh, Richard Arnold, all these people who've effectively let this club turn to shit, effectively. Pardon my French. So yeah, obviously the players do have a part in this. Right, let's see what else people are saying in the chat this morning. Somebody says, whoever scouted Rasmus needs to be sacked. I disagree. I don't think that's a fair comment, to be honest. I think, like I said a couple of seconds ago, the 100% was a talented player there in Rasmus Hojlund, without a shadow of a doubt, right? 100% a talented player, and we did not fulfill the potential. So you can't just 100% blame Rasmus Hojlund, I don't think. Right, let's see what else people are saying in the chat. A couple of people are saying we need a central defensive midfielder. Yes, 100%. We still need to bring in some more players, definitely. We still need a striker. We still need a goalkeeper, I think. I think a goalkeeper is one of the most important here. Yeah, we 100% need to bring in a goalkeeper. So, yeah, I'm excited about this window. I think it's been, dare I say, one of the best so far. All right, there's some breaking news coming out here, guys. Massive breaking news. Bruno Fernandes has rejected Al Hilal's proposal. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio is saying, exclusive, Bruno Fernandes has officially rejected Al Hilal. He says, despite crazy contract proposal from the Saudi Pro League, Bruno Fernandes wants to continue playing football in Europe. Man United captain wants to play at top level in Europe. Decision made. Okay, Bruno staying, guys. How are we feeling about that? Anybody just join in? Bruno Fernandes has officially rejected, Saudi. All right. I'm going to end the video here, guys, and I'm going to do another video. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.